So I had my gastric bypass on the NHS and this is my week 5 post-op video. So a couple of things to touch on this week. So the sharp pain that I've been getting in my side since right at the beginning is finally easing off. It's not as intense as it was before and it's not happening as often as it was before. It's still happening and it still hurts, but it's not as bad as it was before. So finally easing off. I'm really relieved about it because I was starting to get worried about it. And they told me if it was still happening and hadn't eased by week 6, then it's time to take action. But it's finally easing, which is amazing because it was restricting me quite a lot in regards to walking about and things like that. So I'm glad that it's finally easing off, but it is still happening. What else? So trying to eat better. I know on my last video I touched on the fact that I've been grazing quite a lot and I still am, but I am trying to eat better and I really want to do more like meal prep stuff, but I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'll get like a bunch of veg and usually I would just like eat what I want, maybe put the other half away and just eat what I can and then just like throw it. But I've got like a bunch of veg and I portioned it off into little bags so I could just grab a bag out the fridge and stick it on. But I don't really know how to do that with meals, so I need to watch some videos or get some advice on that. But I am trying to eat better and I'm trying to keep my fluids up as well. I really don't want them to drop again. I am still struggling with a lot of food though, like a lot of food's still hurting me when I'm trying to eat. So it is what it is, but I'm trying to get better with it. And one thing I wanted to touch on this week is dumping syndrome. I am gonna make a video about dumping syndrome, so I'm not spending ages talking in this one, but I did experience it for the first time and yeah, it wasn't nice. I sort of knew what to expect, but it wasn't until afterwards that I realised what it was. I just knew that I felt really unwell and I felt really sick to the point where I couldn't move my head. I felt really like hot and sweaty, my face was all flustered, I felt really dizzy, my guts were making some crazy sounds. I didn't have any pain, but it was just gurgling and churning. It's awful. And I just didn't feel right. I just knew that I needed to go to bed. That's all that I wanted to do. I just felt really unsteady on my feet. I felt weak. I had heart palpitations, sweating. But as soon as I got into bed, I felt straight to sleep. And once I'd woken up, I was fine. And you feel sick quite a lot after eating, after surgery, because your body's trying to get used to these foods again. So I'm used to feeling sick after eating, but this was a whole other ball game. Like I knew something wasn't right, and everybody goes through dumping at some point in their journey. This is the first time it's happened to me, and sort of I know what to expect now. You hear horror stories about dumping, and that's something I could go into a whole tangent about, but I've seen, because I'm part of like the support group on Facebook for bariatric patients and also people that are waiting to have their surgery. They can sort of share their experiences or advise other people if they've got questions or worries or whatever. I have seen a lot on there, how do I say it? People that have had the surgery exaggerating a lot of stuff to people that have not yet had the surgery. I started picking up on it a while ago, and now as soon as I see a post, I'm just like, yeah, like that's one of them. Yeah, I've noticed that on there, and I don't know whether it's just because they see other people doing it, or I'm not really sure what the reason is, because surely it's about supporting people that are about to go through it as well. But I see a lot of like scaremongering going on, where people that have had the surgery are making things sound like the worst thing ever, like 10 times worse than it should be. And I have spoken to quite a few people on here. I've been getting a lot of messages from people who have not yet had the surgery, and they're really scared by things like dumping syndrome or various different things, and they've just heard absolute horror stories about things like that people have told them, either on support groups or just other people on TikTok and that have had weight loss surgery. And I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. Like, it's really good to advise people that are about to have the surgery and to warn people, and that's what I do on here. Like, I'm very honest about my journey, the good stuff and the bad stuff. I don't sugarcoat anything, and I'm not fake about anything, because that doesn't help anybody. But I'm also not gonna over exaggerate in order to scare people, and that's what I'm seeing, and I'm not liking it, because I'm getting messages from people who are getting scared by this stuff, and it's making them not want to have the surgery, even if it's something they've waited years for. And it's not nice to see people that scared about things that you can't really avoid, like dumping syndrome. Everybody is going to go through it at some point after weight loss surgery, especially if you're having a bypass. And the way people make it out to be is not true. Now, people do experience things differently. I'm not denying that. Everybody has a different experience. Everybody has a different body. They feel things differently. So one thing that might be okay to one person might be horrendous to somebody else. I'm not denying that, but there is a lot of exaggeration going on, and it's scaring people, and that's not nice to see. So yeah, I have to sort of talk to these people. I'm like, please don't let things like this stop you from doing what you've waited years to do, because it's not going to be the worst thing you're going to go through. Dumping syndrome is not nice. I'm not going to lie about that. It's awful, and it makes you feel crap, but it's also not the worst thing you're going to experience after going through surgery. So yeah, I just wish I'd see more support going on rather than scaremongering. But like I said, there's a whole tangent. But yeah, I finally experienced dumping for the first time, and it wasn't nice, but now I know what triggered it. I know what to sort of avoid in future. So this week I have lost 1.5 kilograms or 3.3 pounds. So it's more than last week. It's still not a huge amount, but like I said in my last video, I'm really not letting it bother me at this point whilst I'm healing and trying to get back into things. Like, it's not the end of the world. At least I'm trying to eat better, getting my fluids up, the pain's finally easing, so I can be more active without being scared of this pain. So that's all I'm focusing on right now. I did want to touch on people messaging me. Like, please don't feel that you can't talk to me. If you need somebody to talk to, drop me a message. Like, I'm getting messages from people saying, is it okay if I message you? Like, honestly, I'm so open to talk to anybody about the journey, or to listen to you vent, or whatever it may be. Please don't hesitate to message me, and we'll chat about it, especially if you're worried about stuff, because I'm getting that quite a lot. And if it's something you've waited years for, please don't let little things stop you from doing it. But yeah, messages are always open if you need to chat, and I will see you in my next video.